That's okay. This is my favorite website here that I found that my friend Martin, the Goalie Diggers, uses. As I mentioned, I use Front Page to write my code, so we just do. And Martin uses this, and his cache pages look really neat. I like this. It looks a little wordy when you first look at the web page, but it's not. He just, really defines a little bit about what HTML means up here at the top and such, and then he gets right down to it right away. So we talked about HTML elements again, and those are the different, those are basically like, again, different examples. HTML elements are like the font size or bold or putting something in italics. And at the top here he defines, well, let's just take a look at it. Let's take a look at the bold element right here right away. So the element is bold, and it displays text in bold, tells you what it does. Anyway, let's just make it easy. Oh, so he's just going to add the bold code there, for example. And see, basically what we did is we see what he did with the second line there. That's the heading at the top is a heading, right? But then the paragraph, my first paragraph, is my first paragraph. And you can see on the left side of the page, that's a paragraph because it has a P at the start and a P at the end, except the P at the end has a backslash, which means stop the paragraph here, please. And the same with the bold code. Pretty simple, eh? That's very simple. And he's going to do the second paragraph kind of the same way. And then he's going to use the underline code, which is U for underline, not really hard, right? And then he's going to click that submit code button at the top, which says, okay, I updated my HTML in my sandbox. And what is that actually going to look like out there on the web or on my cache page? And you can see it just underlined it. He just copied and pasted. And you can create a third paragraph using italics on this one. Of course. That's so easy, isn't it? I mean, very straightforward. Very straightforward. What I like to do is, let's see, yeah, so we'll just go back here. We'll look at some of these basic elements that Gizmo guy was talking about. Bold is handy. Just remember, just because we can do these things in HTML doesn't mean you want to overuse them either. How annoying is that if you're reading things in the newspaper, people are yelling at you, putting in things in all caps and bold and italics. You only use those things as appropriate when you're a writer in any format, right? Down here, Gizmo guy, I shouldn't even show you this. This is so annoying. Just because you can do a marquee doesn't mean you should do one on every cache page. You may want to do a marquee if, for example, the mother that lives next door would be a bad idea to make her angry, so you don't want geocaches going there after 10 p.m. On any given night. So you might put in here, please don't go to this cache after 10 p.m. or you're going to make the neighbor lady very upset. You might put that at the top of the cache page in a marquee because you think that's extremely important in this case, which it is. So really, some of the basics are really easy. Okay, so really, one thing I noticed when I use this Gizmo Guides page is, right, see this line right here, it says HTML code. Let's do this. One thing, yeah. So it's only showing one line, but actually there's a bunch of stuff in that box. He told me I could click on this to make that box click and drag. He said, there it is. Anyway, so this shows me the entire code that's hiding in that box. Here it shows the result is displaying exactly what it looks like. And then you can see here the B code and the end B code after the word bold, and this is how it displays. And yes, it's in bold. Bold is in bold. All right. But really a biggie now, we'll step it up a notch. We're going to go to font, right? We want to do things with font, size, and color, that's for sure, because that's where the fun's at. Hi, I'm so tired of looking at bland black font on cache pages. Aren't you? I am. So why don't we steal that HTML code, right? You right click, you get this little menu, copy. Well, we don't have to remember anything. We're just going to steal that HTML code, and then we're going to come here. And then I'm just going to give us some, I want to give us some space here. I don't want to have the code piled on top of each other. I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. Now I'm going to right click, now I'm going to paste it. Okay. Let's submit the code and see what we have here. So this is the code I just stole from this page right here. Go ahead, Carrie.
Okay, you have two sites there. This notebook or note page, is that on every computer? Or like?
Right, so this is the W3 Schools web page. So you can just, it's just a web page just like any other web page that we're screwing around on here.
So if I had Windows,
doesn't matter, it's actually a web page on the internet,
right.
So you would go to, we have a link on there, you would go to the link that we have, it would bring this up just as you see it, and then you could add yours in as you see fit.
Yeah, this is just this isn't a piece of software or anything that's on your computer is the question. This is just a website, and we're going to use it just to play with HTML code. You don't have to upload anything or install anything. You can just see at the top in the address bar, if it's not cut off there, www.
but I mean, I could use Windows Word, correct? A blank sheet on Windows Word? Transfer it
Really
over?
difficult way of doing it.
I would type your stuff in here. I think your question was, could you create Microsoft Word and then paste it here?
Yeah. I already have Microsoft Word. Couldn't I just copy and paste it?
Okay, a real problem there, and Dave pointed this out to me. Okay, the coding in Microsoft Word is very complicated, and if you copy text off of Microsoft Word and you try to paste it on a cache page, you'll see miles and miles and miles and miles and miles of code, and you don't like that. It's just a mess. It creates a mess, and sometimes certain browsers may have trouble interpreting that. This is much easier. See how simple this code is here? I mean, it's much simpler, but I used to try that myself, going from Word, copy, paste, and it as Dave pointed out, it makes a total mess of everything.
So I mean, if we're not communicating.
I guess, Carrie, what your question was is, could you use Word to develop this whole web page?
Correct.
You could.
But I mean, you doing what you're doing on the left. Copy, paste it, and go to the right.
Dave pointed out if you create that all in Word, it's going to be the same problem.
No, not create it. Create it there. But put it in
Let me
Word.
answer the question, because I understand what he's asking.
Okay, go ahead.
If you were just going to type this text in Word, because
Yeah.
you like typing all that better in Word for whatever reason, or Microsoft.
No. Put it in Word. That's all I'm going to do.
Okay, that works. But if you play around in Word, you will see you can save your file as HTML. So let's say you go in there and you do a bunch of formatting and all that.
Correct.
And then you say save as HTML. It will work, but it will create like this little thing that has like 8 lines or whatever here. If you do it in Word, you're going to get about, not exaggerating, several hundred lines.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Don't do it that way.
Never mind.
Just want to use it as an editor, that's fine.
The way that we're doing it in this area is w3schools.com. This is what it gave us, and then we're grabbing lines from the Gizmo guy and putting it here. The next part about this is what you see is what you get. You have your code right here. This is how it's going to appear in the web browser. And it's the easiest way to do it. You can alter the text on this side and then see exactly what you did and how it's exactly going to show up on your cache page here. It's the easiest way to really do it. And Blue Griffin, one of the other programs that we mentioned earlier, that's exactly what this does. But you can just go to the website and use it that way.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so are you saying that we are copy and pasting from somebody else the HTML code?
Yes.
I guess my question is, referring back to that gentleman over there in Word, would it be easier, since you have an idea of what you want to create, where it says my first heading on the right side, you type it there, and then somehow you are able to have that program or whatever create the HTML code?
That's where
I'm doing
the
it backwards, so I don't know what's the easiest way.
You can. They're paid programs. That's what they're specifically made to do. But they run fairly expensive. Last time I checked, you're talking about $600, $700, $800 for a piece of software to help you do that.
That's why I use Front Page for this. I'll type everything in and put a picture there and it does it all for me. But those pieces of software are quite expensive. And believe it or not, for free, this is the easiest way to do this thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I see what you mean now.
Businesses use Dreamweaver or
Most professionals. Yeah, there's lots of things people use on the net now to create web pages, and Dreamweaver is one of the more popular writing programs, but very expensive, thousands of dollars.
Okay, so you could like use this to like build your whole page with pictures, etc.
You got it.
And then you just copy this into something else.
You got it. Then once we come up with it, then we're going to copy and paste this right here. We're going to copy and paste this. This is our little chalkboard we're practicing on. Once we got what we like, we're going to steal this, we're going to copy and then paste it onto the cache page, and we're done.
Yeah, just as a clarification, this is where we're just having fun with it. We're making it. This is our playground, our sandbox, as Ron had called it earlier. This is where we get to do whatever we want, however we want to do it, and it's not going to affect our cache page at all. It's not going to affect our cache page at all. So after we have this over here looking exactly how we want it to look, you come over here, you copy everything here, you go to your geocaching.com account, you go underneath create your cache, you enter your title, your coordinates, you come down, you click that HTML box, you hit paste, and submit it, and you're done.
With one exception.
You can't do that, actually. This is one of the little catches. You want to do everything except paste the stuff at that point. You need to create the page, because what's going to happen is, I learned this the hard way. You try pasting the HTML and the cache page isn't made yet. You're just making it now, right? You pull up the page. Yeah, when you hit make the page, you pull it up, your HTML is going to be all screwy, and you'll be like, I thought I did it perfect. I did it looks so good in my sandbox. It's some weirdness on gc.com.
I've done that myself, so yes.
Yes, so but basically if you do that, now you gotta go back, you gotta go to the edit page, you gotta select all that and paste over it, and then hit go again, and now it'll be perfect. You just can't put it on the initial creating step. It's stupid, I'm sorry I have to tell you that, but it's a fact, and I didn't make it that way.
It's where the experience comes into play.
It's true.
So yeah, you gotta make the page, hit, and then now you can go back to that page the second time and enter your coordinates perfect.
I think they may have just changed that with the last of it.
Really?
You think so? Okay, good. Yeah, Rebecca says that's maybe a non-issue. You can enter it all from the start and then it will be fine. It used not to be the case forever. But yeah, so yeah, okay. Just wanted to make that point. You would not believe the hours I wasted on that. Like, what's wrong with my code? I don't understand. It looks perfect, and then it's all screwy now. How did that happen? It's just some kind of glitch it was with them.
Well, would you include the HTML in the body page?
Yeah, so, no, her question was, when we copy and paste this when we're finished, do we have to include the HTML and body codes? Do we have to copy and paste from here to here? And the answer is no. GC.com's going to throw out these codes right here. I didn't know that. I always thought you had to put the body code in there, and then I always noticed when I went back, GC.com erased it. Just this stuff was still there. So no, you don't have to put these. If you put them in there, it doesn't matter. They're just going to ignore it. They're going to weed it out and throw it away.
Before you finish, not just right now, but before you finish, could you maybe talk about the content of the page, not just the code? Because I'm just starting to, thinking about creating cache pages. But I like to have some examples of the good ones, and then what elements should I be putting into this page?
So the question is, she wants to know about what.
I can deal with code.
So your question is, what's good content on a page to make a good cache?
Put this in, put this in, put this in, put this in.
So a template, what you? Well, so the